First of all, I want to welcome all of you to Elfie's Amazing But True Tales. My name is Alfred A.E. Wolfram, a.k.a. Elfie. Those of you who have met me and know me, you know I go by Elfie. Now, we're going to be looking at stories that are officially amazing and actually historically true. Now, history is often the study of ordinary people, just like you and I, who, because of extraordinary circumstances, have done some astonishing things. Let's look at some of these people and the history that they've created. Anyone here from Germany? Okay, German. This is especially for all the Germans. Count Felix von Luckner was he's much like any other 13-year-old boy. Growing up in Dresden, this young lad was someone who enjoyed school. He was a little bit better than an average student. He liked outdoor sports, and he loved to read. Now, one of the books that he loved the most was a book about William Cody, Buffalo Bill Cody. And this became his idol. Buffalo Bill Cody at that time was known around the world. Well, Felix finally made up his mind right then and there that he was going to leave home, even though he's 14 years old, go to America and meet Buffalo Bill. There was only one problem. His mother said no. But despite her objections, Felix proceeded with his plan, left home and headed for Hamburg, a busy seaport where there were ships preparing to go all over the world. Upon arrival in the seaport, he began wandering the docks until he finally signed on as a cabin boy on the Russian freighter, the Niobe. It was indeed bound for America by way of Australia. But the voyage proved to be very, very harsh indeed. The young count was beaten, overworked, underfed, and scared most of the voyage. At one point, he actually fell out of the rigging of the ship and into the sea. The only reason he didn't die of exhaustion was when a passing albatross came down for a closer view. He grabbed the albatross by the legs and hung on as tight as he could until he was rescued. Well, upon reaching Australia, he jumped ship and roamed around Brisbane for several months. Finally, he signed on an American clipper ship by the name of the Golden Shore, which took him to San Francisco. When Felix arrived in that city by the bay, he was told that Buffalo Bill lived in Denver. When asked where Denver was, he was told to follow the railroad tracks and walk the ties some 1,300 miles, which he promptly set out to do. Now, though he would occasionally catch a passing freight, he ended up walking most of the way. At long last, after numerous detours, 12,000 miles of sailing, walking almost 1,300 miles, there he stood at the door of Buffalo Bill Cody. He was exhilarated. Sadly, it was then that he found out that Buffalo Bill was in Germany, and at that very moment at the dining table of his own father. Well, eventually, Felix made his way back to Germany. When World War I broke out, he entered the German Navy. He was made commander of the German raider ship Seadler. Before the war ended, he was responsible for sinking 35 Allied vessels. But most remarkable of all, because of his great love and respect for the United States, for America and its people. Not one single person, passenger or crew member, lost their lives. You see, in each instance, von Lechner made certain that all crew members and passengers were safely off every ship before he sank it. Word of his deeds spread throughout the United States. When the war ended, 3 different American cities made Count Felix von Lechner honorary citizens. Ironically, however, he never did meet his hero, Buffalo Bill. Amazing and nautically true. And this has been a wonderful birthday gift. You see, today is my birthday. I am 39 years old for the 44th time. Thank you very much. May you have fair winds and a following sea.